Okay, so I've been wanting to talk about Black Clover for a while. I'm a little bit behind on the anime and the manga, but I wanted to talk about something that it's really an interesting thing, because we know nowadays what are the new gen of manga, what are the next, Naruto, One Pieces, and Bleaches, and all of that cool stuff, what are passing the torch and carrying it on or whatever. Definitely Black Clover is one of them. Also My Hero Academia, Promised Neverland could potentially fit that. There's quite a few series that are coming out that, they fit that criteria to be, again, the replacements for the series that have moved on and ended, like Bleach and Naruto, even though we got Boruto, but that's a whole other argument or whatever. But Black Clover, one of the things that I've always noticed with the fandom from the jump and even till now, I mean, it's starting to turn around a little bit. I definitely can see that it's gained a lot more of a fan base, but Black Clover, why doesn't it get the same respect that My Hero Academia and even The Promised Neverland and a lot of the newer series get? Why do people constantly pick on that series? Why do people constantly trash that series? And why overall does it get so much hate? Again, in comparison to one of its contemporaries, My Hero Academia. Now, you guys know I love My Hero Academia. I also really love Black Clover, despite its flaws, despite the things that people say about it. Personally, I find enjoyment in it, and that's why, I can sit back and realize, yeah, Black Clover, it's no fucking Shakespeare, but I have a great time with it. I love the world, I love the characters, the Black Bulls. Honestly, they're one of my favorite shonen groups of all time, and I'm just being serious. I really like Yami, I love Luck, all of them, they have their little quirks and stuff like that, and it's really cool. I think one of the stigmas that Black Clover, unfortunately, from jump until now, still carries is the whole copycat situation, where everybody accuses Black Clover of constantly ripping off everything. Yeah, I've seen instances of Black Clover definitely seeming very similar. I think it's found its way throughout time, and now Black Clover really is, for the most part, doing its own thing, but I've seen instances of it being very heavily inspired by other series. I mean, you cannot deny at the very beginning, the first chapter or episode, it totally felt like, Naruto meets Fairy Tail, but again, I've seen Black Clover, again, I've read, over 100 chapters, I've seen, the anime and stuff like that, and I can wholeheartedly say, especially, again, from my experiences with the manga, that it doesn't deserve the hate that it gets still. In fact, from what I'm hearing from a lot of my friends that are trusted readers, is that the last 3 or 4 chapters of Black Clover have been some of the best stuff in Shonen Jump in the past month. So it's really interesting to hear that and the turnaround, but Black Clover still gets shitted on. People still trash Asta. They say, in comparison to Deku, he's garbage. Likewise with Juno and the whole plot and everything. People just really shit on it. So I definitely think that, unfortunately, till its grave, Black Clover, and what I mean by grave, until it's over, Black Clover is definitely going to get that heat, because people feel as though, regardless of what, they always get that same impression. And I think a lot of it comes from people that don't necessarily even follow it all like that. Maybe they've seen the first couple episodes or chapters and they made their judgment there, because again, Black Clover does start to do its own thing. I think another reason why Black Clover gets this hate, and to be honest with you, I can totally see something that another series had the same problem with, is it's kind of like Fairy Tail. It's the punching bag of shonen manga in today's age. Fairy Tail was the punching bag. Don't get me wrong, I criticized Fairy Tail, but I really had a great time with it. But nevertheless, everybody constantly came at Fairy Tail for any and every reason you can think of, because Fairy Tail always had its blunders. In comparison with Black Clover, I'd argue that Black Clover keeps a tighter ship. It doesn't necessarily introduce idiocies, or when it does these, knock 'em a power-up moments, at the very least it has credentials behind it and context that allows it to make sense and not be complete ass pulls. I'll, say one thing without really getting into spoilers. The stuff that happens with Vanessa in the manga, where there's, a certain part of the story that is very heavily focused on her. There was something that happened where people were like, BS, BS, BS. But I felt as though it was foreshadowed. We've always seen there's a little more to Vanessa than meets the eye. So you look at that and it's like, Fairy Tail would straight up just say, nah, they win because they're mad about their friends and they love their friends. So I definitely feel as though it's so unfair that Black Clover gets the same treatment in comparisons to Fairy Tail, where, be honest with you, Black Clover, it's still in a portion where you could argue that it hasn't gone off the rails to be like, oh, come on, if, imagine Asta all of a sudden is able to defeat the leader, the Wizard King, and becomes the Wizard King all of a sudden. I'd be like, huh? But, he's not making those leaps yet either. So again, a lot of the hate and in comparison to My Hero Academia, it just feels unnecessary and undeserved. Yes, Black Clover plays into every trope you can imagine, but with Black Clover, one of the things that's unique about it is, look at its world building. It has a vast world, this magical world where there was demons at one point and shit like that. It gives you this excitement and thrills. World building, you can't take that away from Black Clover. Likewise with the likability of several of the side characters. The Black Bulls in general, they just have all, like, in comparison, again, if we're going the, hey, it's just like Fairy Tail route, I'll take the Black Bulls over the Fairy Tail Guild any day of the week. Yami, all of them, Magma, like, they're just really dope characters. So in comparison in that regard as well, and if we're talking anime, animation does look nice. I will argue though that the anime is way too slow. It's like the manga and anime have the exact problems, and till this day I still feel it. I think the anime is in a little better of a place now. It's starting to go into really interesting and good material, but nevertheless it still had those problems of like, man, we should be way ahead by now, and we're going very slow. So the anime had those problems, but as far as the manga goes and as far as the story goes, I think Black Clover, it's one of those series where it's going to continue to get the hate, unfortunately, the more popular it gets. But from jump, again, everybody like already was coming at it from the very first chapter. Black Clover is gonna be like Fairy Tail, honestly, and it's a shame, but it is what it is. That's what people look at it as. It's very simplistic. It plays on every trope you like, and that's what Fairy Tail did, except Black Clover doesn't do like the extremes. Like Ass is not beating opponents that are 10 billion times stronger than him constantly because he wants to protect his friends. There's a little more strategy involved. There's a lot of cool stuff. Again, the side characters get a nice amount of time to shine, and it does really awesome things. So Black Clover, the reason why it gets a lot of hate, especially in comparison to My Hero Academia, is because it has a lot of aspects that appeal to so many different demographics, and it seems like it's a strategical manga more so than just like creating for an artistic value. And yeah, you could argue, okay, I'd rather somebody that's giving his whole heart and everything. And I do think that he's, you know, giving his all as well. But what I mean is Black Clover in design is designed to not lose. It has a character for every type of fan. So if you want a badass muscular guy, you'll get Yami. If you want a Naruto main character that's always hopeful, you'll get Asta. If you want the rival that, you know, is slick and all the girls like him, you got Yuno. You know, every possible thing. You want the hot dudes for the girls, they have that. You want the busty chicks, you got Vanessa. It's in design, again, made to be mainstream and not lose, which is something that I'm not too big a fan of, to be honest with you. I loved the author's previous work, Hungry Joker, but in design it almost essentially backfires because it's so meant to be mainstream that people look at it like, I've seen a lot of this before, and it's unfortunate. I think Black Clover is a pretty cool series. Just as I've said in the past, when you go into Black Clover, do not expect anything that is incredible. Expect a very simple but enjoyable series, and that's how I continue to enjoy Black Clover, anime and manga. But I'm kind of curious, why do you guys think Black Clover gets so much hate, unlike My Hero Academia? My Hero Academia, there's a rarity. Like, if it does get hate, it's always just this weird thing of like, people are just oversaturated of it, like, oh, it's not that great. But people will never say My Hero Academia is like the worst series in the world, or it's just like Fairy Tail. You don't really get that when it comes to My Hero Academia, but you do with Black Clover. I think My Hero Academia also in presentation and character development, it focused on a couple different things that Black Clover didn't do. Like with the manga, Black Clover sometimes just completely jumps without giving context to a lot of things, because it's fight, cool shit, then it's like boring for 2 or 3 chapters, and fight. Sometimes I really love that though, and I can't fault it either. It's in design meant to be fun. It's not meant to be this crazy thing, but sometimes it does even give you cool aspects of the story. The mages, you know, the leaders of these little clans, it kind of reminds me of Harry Potter sometimes. It gives me many different vibes. So I definitely got to say, on Black Clover's behalf, it doesn't deserve the hate. Does it deserve to get the same respect as My Hero Academia? I don't know. I think My Hero Academia, quality-wise, definitely trumps Black Clover, so I wouldn't say that it deserves to be praised, but it doesn't deserve to be, like, stones thrown at it like Fairy Tail. It hasn't done any type of offensive things like Fairy Tail's done with, you know, insulting our intelligence about a character's death. How many times they did fake outs and stuff. Black Clover, it's usually face value. Sometimes people get messed up really bad, and they use magic to reverse shit, but I like Black Clover, and I don't think it deserves hate. Again, your overall thoughts of this. My Hero, Black Clover, why My Hero is loved, why Black Clover is hated. Although, again, I gotta say, Black Clover is getting up there. I see a fan base curated, and I'm excited. Black Clover's cool stuff. But that is all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Bow. Have an awesome day. Sometimes I be right in your face and hit like Genjutsu in place. That's how it be, though. Nothing but great effort just to get a C, though. Eyes watching, but we never seem to be, though. Even when stakes are high, we never seem to meet, yo. It's always please, yo. Never satisfied, though. What the fuck I gotta do to get by, though? No matter how much I seem to fucking try, though. At times I really wanna motherfucking die, yo.